Hello, today I've got a Diplomat Diplomat Excellence A2 in a green finish with gold coloured trim I should say. Before I get into the pen, I will just do a cursory thing in the box. Comes in this box, outer sleeve. Inside the outer sleeve you have another box with an inner outer sleeve, which is metal. Very nice. Inside the inner outer sleeve, you have a box with a little flap. You have a pen bed where your pen comes in. You have a couple of cartridges and a little Diplomat guarantee card. There, right, that's the box. Nice Diplomat logos on the little bed there. That's nice. Or pillow, whatever you want to call it. Lovely. Back to the pen. So Diplomat Excellence A2, nice classic pen, been around quite a while. Been thinking about it for a little bit and sorry, I've got a little cue over here. Pulled the trigger on it recently. Saw a little deal, so I thought I'd go for it. So this is in a nice kind of dark green finish. So it's a metal bodied pen with lacquered finish, potentially brass in the body. It's got a nice bit of heft into it. Got gold coloured trim. So on the cap band you have Diplomat since 1922 and made in Germany around the cap band there. Clip as a nice little lip / bill and is spring loaded, very springy, very nice. Top finial, you have the Diplomat logo there, kind of like your white and then black filled, or yeah, with another little ring there, and then bottom finial you have just like the rounded kind of coin. There, slip cap. It's a very satisfying slip cap. Very nice. You kind of feel that pressure going in there. Potentially not as nice a slip cap as the Aero, but very nice slip cap nevertheless. Underneath that you have a black section. Little gold ring before the nib, which just flares out there a little bit. You have a steel Diplomat nib in gold and silver bi-tone, in this case a broad, and a plastic feed. Cartridge converter pen. Diplomat branded, yes, Diplomat branded. Cartridge converter is included. That is a push-pull-in converter. You've got an O-ring there, and you've got metal threads onto metal threads in there, and that does indeed look like brass. Nice bit of weight in that. So that O-ring just cushions that closure very nicely, and no rattle or anything like that. Does the pen post? Yes, it does. Posts nicely. It feels like it's got a little cushion in there as you do that. It does put a bit of weight on the back of the pen, but depending on size of your hand, I don't find that uncomfortable or unwieldy. I don't post it just because most pens I don't post. It sits in the web / crook of the hand there very nicely, and is well balanced with or without posting. If you wanted that little bit of extra width just in your web of your hand, you can post that no problem. As I say, you do get extra weight, but it doesn't protrude too far out the back of my hand, so it sits there quite nicely depending on the size of your hand. And indeed, I think I can see just a little bit of kind of cushion around there, so part of the slip cap mechanism, and you can feel that just kind of a little soft post on there, but nice and secure. Here are some measurements of the pen. So it's Diplomat Excellence A2. Capped is 139mm, uncapped is 129mm, and posted is 154.5mm. Weights, so this is inked weights, so give it a little bit of leeway. Capped 46.7, uncapped 28.3, and the cap on its own is 18.3. So as I say, that if you're going to post that, that's something to be aware of. A little bit of extra weight, but I find it's still well balanced. But it's a reasonably heavy pen on its own, as I say. Brass body, I believe, and then lacquered finish. Barrel, so 13.5 up here, and as you can see, you got not steep, but it does taper off in the middle here to a thinner end, ending up about 10mm, and the section about 12mm up here, and then going down to 10.5 around here before you've got that little flare, just to keep your fingers off the nib. To compare with some other pens, so there you have the Diplomat Excellence next to Lamy Safari, Diplomat Aero over here, Anoto Magna Classic Asfine P30, Opus 88 Coloro, brain's not working. Another kind of classic over here, you have the Waterman Expert Waterman Karen, Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age, Wingsung 630, and a Twisby Eco over there. So it's not your biggest pen, but it's a good size. I mean, I won't say standard, but it is your good kind of what I would think of as standard size. Might be big for some people, but you know what I mean. It's in the general ilk here, rather than your kind of more oversized thing of over there. Okay. Time for a little bit of writing. There we go. So what we have here is Diplomat Excellence. A2, and this is a broad steel nib. I believe you can get gold nib versions and also gold nib upgrade, or indeed a gold nib separately should you so wish. Obviously that will come at a price. The ink in here is Sailor, gentle, and do excuse me one moment. Tokiwa, Matsu, sorry, I have not got used to that by memory just yet. So let us write. Is a very smooth writing experience, as you might expect off a German nib. It is well tuned out the box. I haven't done anything to that at all other than put ink in it. Try it faster. No problems with skipping or hard starts as well. Bear in mind that's also a broad nib, and yeah, there's no baby's bottom or anything like that. It's nicely tuned. I've had my issues sometimes. I do like a nice broad nib, but I'm careful about where I get them because I have had a few issues recently. But this is a very well tuned nib out of the box. Wetness, decent, but not gushingly so. But nice decent flow on there. For line variation, it's pretty stiff. You're not going to get a lot. It's already a broad nib, so I'm not going to say it's stubby, but you may. No, I don't think it is, to be honest. I think, to be honest, it's pretty uniform around nib, maybe just a very touch thinner on the cross strokes than the down. But yeah, it's a stiff nib. It's a well-tuned stiff nib. So for line width, with no pressure, I measure that at 0.8 millimeter, and then you can just push it a tiny weeny bit up to 1 millimeter. But yeah, nothing really beyond that, to be honest. Reverse, pretty smooth. Bring ear fine, or an extra fine maybe. Pretty smooth. Keeps going. Not bad. But yeah, very nice flowing nib. Well tuned. Haven't. Oh, little skip there. I was literally about to say I haven't had any skips or anything like that. Maybe because I was fiddling around, waving it around in reverse and stuff like that. But good nib. So, what do I think about the pen? I'm very pleased with it. I was kind of tossing up for a little while over perhaps getting one of these or an Aero. Recently I reviewed a friend of mine's Aero. Sorry, let me sort my focus. There we go. Friend of mine's Aero, which I still happen to have knocking around. Thanks, Mike. I'll give it back when I see you, like, promise. So I found the Aero to be a really great pen, but perhaps not necessarily suited to my hand, because I kind of wanted to post it but didn't, and this and that and the other. So it's just a very personal thing with my particular hand size and grip. I've since used it a bit more and kind of adjusted my grip to suit it a little bit. So still a very nice pen, but also I do just kind of like the classic look as well. I mean, I do like the kind of different new look, but something just, it's nice and elegant. I like simplicity done well, and it is a nice elegant pen, and it's done well. You've got that nice bouncy clip, you've got a really nice kind of subtle finish on there, nice elegant trims, logo up there. It's really, really comfortable in my hand. Unposted, which is my preference. The grip section's extremely comfortable. You've got that little lip there if you want to hold down. There's no just like the little tiny step there, but it's beveled. It's not sharp. It's very comfortable all around. You can post it if you want to. If I need to on the go, that's not uncomfortable. I can still write with that. As I say, a little bit heavy on the back, but sits there, so it's not dropping off back here with the weight. I like that the nib, so it's a number 6 size nib, but what I have noticed with a couple of Diplomats, including the Aero I just had in my hand, is the it's kind of protruded longer, so it's set slightly perhaps further out, or just has a longer bit back here, but kind of protrudes slightly longer, or certainly gives the impression that it does, versus some other number 6 nibs that I have. The nib was great out of the box, broad nib, very nicely tuned, reliable. It's just a really comfortable all-round pen. Now, I picked this up for about 115 pounds which was on an offer, so it was slightly reduced. I think they're anywhere around 130 to 150, 60, depending on finish and etc. and where you go for the steel nib version. If you want a gold nib version, you're probably adding £150 on top of that. Is that worth it? That's up to you. But I will tell you that this steel nib was tuned perfectly straight out of the box. What more could you want, really? So brass lacquered steel nibbed pen, is it worth what I paid for it? Certainly, to me it is. I know you can get cheaper pens of the same materials, but you do pay for quality assembly and control. Now, I'd pay that all day long for a pen of this quality, which has the attention to detail and the nice little bits that this has, and a perfectly tuned nib. I really can't overstate the value of that as well. It's like just the first impression you get off a pen. If you get it out, you're excited and you ink it up and it writes perfectly the way you want it to write. That's worth a lot. So is it worth it to you? I don't know. Your mileage may vary, but it was worth it to me, and I absolutely love it, and it will be sticking around in my collection for quite some time. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely day. Come back, see me again soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.